Welcome back, once again adventurers, to Let's Play Steins Gate. And once again, I would like to apologize for the last couple of episodes. That should be a very good lesson to make sure to check my microphone hasn't been turned off or muted in any way, shape or form. But my microphone is on again, and thus we are back to the live commentary format instead of post-commentary, because I'm usually terrible at doing post-commentary. I probably already explained that in the 2 episodes ago. But anyway, in the last episode, we are standing once again on the roof of the radio building, this time in the Beta worldline. And unfortunately, we have yet another dilemma. CERN's dystopian rule may have been thwarted, but in its place lies the Armageddon of nuclear war, known throughout the world as World War III. And of course, it goes without saying that Rintaro is at his wit's end. After spending countless worldlines trying to keep Mayuri Shino alive, and trying to get the IBN 5100 back to the Future Gadget Laboratory so we could get to this point, we now basically have to jump through hoops yet again. But Suzuha is actually saying something rather interesting. Apparently on this world line, the divergence point is the day of Kurisu Makise's death on July 28th, shortly after Dr. Nakabachi's lecture. In the Alpha world line, that divergence point was the completion of the phone wave TBA into the as a inadvertent time machine.
助けることって言ったら
What would we do? Well, we would save Kurisu Makise if we could, but as I said at the end of the previous episode, there is only one thing standing between us and Kurisu Makise, and that is the Beta worldline convergence. In other words, as with Mayuri Shino in the Alpha worldline, trying to save Kurisu here in the Beta worldline will not work. Shock ripples through my body. What did she say? Save Kurisu? Is that possible? But how? We no longer have the phone wave or the time leap machine, and even if we did, I could never leap that far back. Fortunately, the answer to the time problem is sitting conveniently just a few feet away from Suzuha Mane. Unfortunately, going back in time is not enough to save Kurisu from the Beta worldline convergence. Of course. I look over Suzuha's shoulder at the object disguised as a satellite.
Time machine. これがあれば
Hopeful as it may be, Rintaro, don't be tempted. It came all the way from 2036. It should have no trouble going back a mere 3 weeks. Even better, this time machine can do what Alpha Suzuha's could not. It can travel to the future and not just the past. I can go to July 28th, save Kurisu, and return to the present. But will the Beta worldline be somewhat more forgiving if, as the alpha world line was to Mayuri. No D-mails, no time leaps. Genuine physical time travel. Tempting. It's definitely hopeful, and it is tempting, and it just actually might work. I can't refuse. I literally can't refuse. I saw this time machine once before, on July the 28th, that fateful day. Shortly before Kurisu was killed, I saw it standing in this very spot, as sure as it is standing before me now. There's only one thing that can mean. It has already been established that that time machine will appear on that day, in this place. Even before I sent the first email, my participation was assured. Even the thought of turning Suzuha down now is meaningless. Nothing is coincidence. Everything is inevitable. It looks like we have come full circle, it seems. And this is yet another instance of the choice of Steins Gate. The revelation makes me dizzy. It's not like I don't have the tiniest atom of free will. Or it's like I don't have the tiniest atom of free will. Like my every action from the moment of my birth was planned for me by some cosmic force.
私が望む世界線はオカリンおじさんが通ってきたっていうアルファ世界線だっけ？そこじゃない。
Indeed, not this time. We're not looking to shift attractor fields
目
this
指すべ
time.
きはアトラクタフィールドの狭間。
The space between attractor fields, you say.
どのアトラクタフィールドからも一切干渉を受けないたった一つの世界線。
Apparently, there is a world line unaffected by either beta or alpha attractor fields.
通称シュタインズゲート。
A world line known as Steins Gate. So it does exist. But that's the tuny name that's the tuny name I pulled out of my ass. It doesn't even mean anything.
シュタインズゲートはさ、まだ誰も見たことのない未知の世界線らしいんだ。
But apparently there is a world line called Steins Gate. And if everything up until this point is the choice of Steins Gate, then sooner or later it could very well be possible to reach the Steins Gate world line.
らしいって、それ誰かが観測したんじゃないん？
Daru raises a good question.
観測はされてないんだよね。だから未知なわけで。
So, how do we reach Steins Gate then?
でもシュタインズゲートのダイバージェンスはお父さんとオカリンおじさんとですでに割り出されてるよ。
Of course, the divergence meter.
相対値でここからマイナス 0.081609%。
Wait a minute. Minus 0.081609% relative to the current world line. I believe that's still, that should, still be just over 1%, so we would still be in the beta world line. Unless, well, she said it was unattracted by either or any attractor field, so Steins Gate is neither alpha nor beta, but a world line all by its
その世
lonesome.
界線に到達するために必要な条件がクリスの救出。
But how do we save Kurisu from her fate?
そういうこと。
That is the most
第三次世界
important
大戦を
question
回避す
for
る鍵
us.
なんだよ。彼女が生きていればさ、戦争は起きない。少なくとも57億人も死なないんだ。
Now this is certainly quite different from the Alpha Suzuha, who was had quite the grudge against Kurisu Makise, although that grudge can be attributed to the fact that CERN basically plagiarized her name and made her out to be the mother of their time machine. But in this world line, in order to reach Steins Gate and avert World War III, well, sorry, not World War III, World War III, I'm losing my mind, we have to save Kurisu Makise
なぜだ
without jumping to the Alpha world line.
なぜクリスなんだ確かにクリスは天才少女だがあいつが57億人を救う英雄だっていうのか
Well, it certainly couldn't hurt to ask.
よくわかんない。
And Suzuha is somewhat unsure.
わからないって無責任すぎるだろ
We don't have any real reason to... So, excuse me, I wasn't quick enough to turn the microphone off. As I was saying before I sneezed, we don't have any real reason to take this at face value, and yet we don't have a choice.
私は父さんの立てた計画通りに動いているだけ。
So, the plan of the Beta Daru
その計画、
from the future.
元はオカリンおじさんが立案したらしいんだけど。
Well, since Rintaro was the one who created the divergence meter in the first place, it only stands to reason that logically future Rintaro would be the one who is crazy enough to hatch this scheme, because after all, he is the insane mad scientist Hoin
だか
Kyoma.
ら、おじさんの計画が間違ってたら、私のやってることも意味がない。
That's putting it mildly, to say the
どうしてま
least.
た聞きなんだ直接俺に指示されたわけじゃないのか
オカリンおじさんは10年ぐらい前、今からだとおよそ15年後、2025年に亡くなった。
So even on this world line, Rintaro Okabe dies in the year 2025. We heard that before on another world line from the lips of Nai Tanuji, the young daughter of Yugo Tanuji, shortly after she murdered the Moeka Kiryu of that world line. The same result as on the Alpha world line. So that is essentially our convergence.
だから真相はわからない。父さんはオカリンおじさんの意志を継いで、この計画を実行するためにたった一人でタイムマシンを作り上げた。
And ever since then, Beta Daru has worked hard to finish what Beta Rintaro had started. That's my super hacker, my favorite right arm. Much to our surprise. He must have hacked into CERN, stolen their research, then used it to construct their own time machine. That never happened on the Beta World line, that only happened on the Alpha World line, because CERN is no longer the main power player on this board. On the Alpha World line, CERN killed Daru before he could complete the time machine. But here, Daru was able to perfect his design. That's why it can go back into the future. At least that seems the most likely explanation, as far as we're concerned.
オカリンおじさん、その世界線シュタインズゲートは未知っていうぐらいだから、どんな未来が待っているのか誰も知らない。
That is the unfortunate drawback of the worldline of Steins Gate, is that because Steins Gate is unobserved, we don't know just what exactly awaits us in that worldline.
もしかしたら第三次世界大戦が終結した後でディストピアが構築されるかもしれない。
That could either be the rise of CERN or another dystopian rule.
もしかしたらマキセ・クリスはオカリンおじさんが助けた2日後とかに死んじゃうかもしれない。
So in other words, there is a chance that something could go wrong. That anything could go wrong.
オカリンおじさんは2025年じゃなくて1週間後に死んじゃうかもしれない。
So in other words, there are too many unknown variables to Steins Gate.
でも同時にもしかしたら2036年になるまで第三次世界大戦も起きないしディストピアも構築されないかもしれない。
And there is also a chance that we could possibly save both Mayuri and Kurisu if we can actually reach Steins Gate.
マキセ・クリスも他の誰も死なないかもしれない。
But I imagine that it's an incredibly infinitesimal chance.
素晴らしい未来が待っているかもしれない。
Well, we won't know until we actually reach the world line that we have called Steins Gate.
少なくとも私がいた2036年でもなくアルファ世界線の私がいた2036年でもなくなるのは確か。
Indeed, since Steins Gate lies outside of the alpha and beta attractor fields. Is an unknown future really for the best? Well, we actually have nothing to lose except, well, everything. I would hate for the ending role to say, despite your best efforts, you made everything worse.
先は見えない完全な未知。
In other words, a world line of pure chaos. Kurisu can't be saved. I know that. Even if we change the past, convergence will ensure her death, just as it did for Mayuri. It's impossible. There's no way this plan can succeed. If we were somehow able to get her on the time machine, which would certainly be a shock to her, and bring her forward past the day that she's supposed to die, then maybe, just maybe, we might succeed. In the end, fate will win, as it always has.
それでも言ってくれるなら、それでも私と一緒に7月28日へ飛んでくれるなら、この手を握って。
I look down at Suzuha's hand. Her skin is rough, her palm calloused. This cool, collected, unsmiling Suzuha comes from a ruined world, from the ashes of a war that claimed over 5 billion lives. I can only imagine what she's been through. Kurisu. How I have dreamt of saving her. I would do anything to change her fate. But how do I know this invitation won't lead me into another maze of despair? We don't, and that's probably for the best.
マユシーは今の話ちんぷんかんぷんなのです。でもね、そのマキセさんっていう人はオカリンにとっては 大事な人だったんでしょ。
Indeed, she was lab member 004, our assistant.
頑張るべきだよ、オカリン。
57億人救えるかどうかってのはちっとも想像できないけどな。
Neither can I, Daru.
ごちゃごちゃ細かいことはいいから、その女の子を助けることだけ考えればいいんじゃね。そうすればモテ期到来確定だし。
Thank you very much for the pep talk, super hacker. Mayuri and Daru offer me encouragement, but it's not enough to overcome my doubt. The Kurisu Makise we knew, lab member 004, is already gone. Even if I save her on this worldline, she won't remember any of the time she shared with us. So there's no point. I won't bend time to my convenience. Not again. Also, the intro theme from Steins is playing right now, and I believe it actually makes a cameo appearance at this point in time in the Steins anime, no less. Just thought I'd point that out. I'm not God, I don't have that right. I'm just a Chunibu insane mad scientist who calls himself Hoin Kyoma. If I try, I'll just end up making things worse. Reason pleads with me to stop. And yet, I look at Suzuha's outstretched hand, and then with resignation, I grasp it firmly. But thou must. Try though I may to fight it, this choice was made for me on July 28th, the moment I laid eyes on this time machine.
結局俺がお前の手を握り合い運命は収束するんだ。
Consider this the choice of Steins. I'm not at all confident that I can save Kurisu. How many times have I tried to resist fate only to fail? I don't want to see her die. But if there is a chance, however small, that she can be saved, I have to try. Even if I can't take back what we had, I want more than anything to save her. Let it be so.
一緒に行くよ。
Let us go back to July 28th, the day this all started.
ありがとう、オカリンおじさん。
And with that, our choice has been made.
乗って。
ちなみにそのタイムマシン二人乗り OK なの？
もちろん、私の父さんが作った最高傑作なんだからさ、当然だって。
So it can carry more than one passenger.
誰が娘に愛されてるの？
言葉の意味はよくわからんが、とにかく父さんではなくお兄ちゃんと呼べ。
Daru, you are Suzuha's biological father, whether you like it or not.
オカリン、絶対帰ってきてね。言ったまま戻ってこなかったら嫌だよ。
We will return, Mayuri.
別に違う世界に行くわけじゃない。過去にちょっと戻ってくるだけだ。
That is a promise. I pat Mayuri's arm reassuringly. Then I follow Suzuha to the time machine's hatch and slip inside. Let's go, Suzuha Mane. The interior is cylindrical and surprisingly tight. When I sit down on the ledge that rims the cylinder, it puts me face to face with Suzuha, kind of like one of those giant teacups rides. And I thought it would be larger on the inside than it is on the outside, similar to the TARDIS. But can't have everything. There are fewer controls than I expected. The inside definitely looks more refined than what I saw of Suzuha's time machine on the Alpha World line. But one thing remains. The time display panel. A black screen with red lettering. I guess that's just Daru's taste.
携帯出して。
When I hand it over, Suzuha casually tosses it out the hatch. What do you do that for?
持っていかない方がいい。混戦するから。
What do you mean it will cause interference? Oh, I see. We're going to July 28th, so there'll be 2 of me, and if I bring it, 2 of my phone as well. I guess that could be a problem if I got a call or something. So time travelers really do need to be careful about what they bring to the past.
ハッチ閉めて。
Probably a good idea to do that. I hear Mayuri and Daru cheering outside. Mayuri caught my phone, thankfully. That's good to know. So since we're physically traveling back in time instead of via D-mail or time leap, we essentially run the risk of a paradox, and we will have to avoid the Rintaro Okabe from yesteryear. The Rintaro Okabe that went to Dr. Nakabachi's lecture at the very beginning of this LP, and who inevitably discovered the cold dead body of Kurisu Makise on the 8th floor of the radio building. I give them a final nod and then close the hatch. Silence engulfs us. Suzuha is operating the time display panel. She sets our destination, July 28th, 2010, 11:50 a.m.
時間はこれぐらいでいいかな。
Let us jump back in
ギリギ
time.
リすぎないか。
I remember that Dr. Nakabachi's presentation began at 12.
このタイムマシンって場所移動ができないの？
というと
Not physically.
例えばここ。つまりラジカンの屋上からタイムトラベルを開始した場合、どの時間へ飛んでもラジカン屋上の座標にしか到着しないんだ。
Well, no matter.
本当はもっといろいろ複雑な計算してんだけど、今は説明しない。
Well, given that it's a stationary object and doesn't really have lifter technology to make it anti-gravity, I suppose that makes perfect
とにかく
sense.
そういうことなんで、発表会の前日に飛ぶこともできるけどさ、そのせいで騒ぎになって発表会中止とかになっちゃまずいでしょ。だからむしろ時間ギリギリの方がいい。
Yeah, given that something like that happened with Suzuha's time machine on the Alpha World line, we really want to make sure that that doesn't happen. Though fortunately this time machine is a little bit more
おじさ
stable.
んってタイムトラベルは初体験だっけ？
As far as the Beta World line is concerned, yes. Otherwise,
あのな、おじさんと呼ぶのはやめてくれ。
Well, Daru is her father, which essentially makes you her
タイ
uncle.
ムリープは腐るほどやったが、タイムトラベルは初めてだ。
Indeed, this is the first time that Rintaro Okabe has actually physically traveled through time
ジョン・タイ
itself.
ター曰く、かなりの G が発生して引っ張られるような感覚があるらしい。
ああ、それ書いたの私。
So, as with her Alpha World line counterpart, the Beta Suzuha is John
ジョ
Taito.
ン・タイターのことか。
そう2000年に飛んだ時に。
そうか。
The past has changed. Changed back, I suppose, from my point of view. When I was on the Alpha World line, I saw Taito post in real time on that channel. On this world line, those posts were made to an English BBS forum in the year 2000.
あんまびっくりしないんだね。
We've read your work. Nothing can surprise me now. My brain's too busy trying to process all this new information. It feels like it's gonna blow.
改めてこのミッションについて説明するね。向こうに着いたらのんびり話してる時間はないはずだからさ。
Indeed, we only have one shot at this.
目的はマキセ・クリスの死の回避。
With worldline convergence hanging over us like the sword of Damocles, that's not going to be an easy feat. If we couldn't save Mayuri on the Alpha World line, how could we possibly save Kurisu on the Beta World line? Ever since I returned to this world line, I've avoided all news of Kurisu's murder. I was afraid of setting that result in stone. So I still don't know who killed Kurisu. I don't know how or why she died. I don't know anything at all. If I had known it would come to this, would I have looked things up? I ask myself that question. The answer is no.
アトラクターフィールドによる収束は
That is the only drawback to our mission.
言ったでしょ。その日は分岐点なの。
You said that July 28th is a day of great divergence.
マキセ・クリスの死の可能性は大雑把に計算して 50% なんだよ。
収束は起きないんだな。
I wouldn't hold my breath.
起きるかもしれない。多分起きる。でもきっと抜け道があるはず。その抜け道こそがシュタインズゲートの入り口なの。
And we can only reach the doorway to Steins Gate if we can actually successfully save Kurisu Makise. So in the end, it's a gamble. 50-50 odds. Either we succeed or we fail miserably. I believe we've chatted enough.
一つ忠告を。ドクター中鉢には気をつけて。
No, don't worry. I remember him. That lunatic that actually, yeah, he was a bit overly eccentric.
私のいた2036年では第三次世界大戦が起きたって言ったよね。その原因をたどっていくと中鉢論文に行き着く。ドクター中鉢が書いたっていうタイムマシンに関する文書なんだけど。
But wait a minute. I thought that Dr. Nakabachi plagiarized John Titor. I mean your thing on time travel, and Rintaro called him out on it, and oh dear. Dr. Nakabachi's presentation. His time travel conference. Oh, things just got so much
しか
worse.
し奴のタイムトラベル理論はジョン・タイターのパクリ。
Yeah, and we know who John Titor really is. Suzuha Mane, an actual time traveler from the future. John Titor's sitting right in front of me.
つまりタイターがネットに書き込んだことは正しいということか。
一部に嘘は混ぜておいたから私が書き込んだ時はあんまり相手にされなかったんだけど。
That's certainly clever. The Alpha Suzuha basically did the same thing to keep CERN off her trail.
まさか10年経って再評価されるとはね。私の書いた理論をもとに独自の考えを加えたみたい。その完成度はとても高いらしいんだ。
So we basically have two objectives to fulfill. One, save Kurisu Makise from death, and the other, keep Dr. Nakabachi's time travel paper from leaving the country.
とにかくドクター中鉢はマキセ・クリスの殺された会場にいたんだよね。だから彼には注意しといて。彼もまた世界線を大きく変えるキーマンのはず。
I had certainly hoped to avoid Nakabachi, of meeting him ever again, but it looks like we won't have a choice. Dr. Nakabachi, important? I thought he was just some con artist. I think he is. He's just a wannabe academic who thinks himself the next big shot scientist.
じゃあ行くよ。シートベルト締めて。
I'm so glad that Daru, that you installed seatbelts in this thing. I look to find underneath to find what looks like a car seatbelt. I wrap it around my waist and fix my body to the seat.
結構揺れるのか？
That's my super hacker.
揺れはほとんどないよ。
You mean it does something else? Wait, is this even safe? It's too late now. Looks like we're taking the plunge. Suzuha leans forward and presses a bright yellow button on the bottom of the panel. There are no windows, so I can't tell if the time machine is moving. I think it moves through time but not space, as
たった3
Suzuha
週間だか
previously
ら
mentioned.
ものの 2,3 分で行けるはず。
Suzuha fastens her own seatbelt and sighs.
最初に1975年へ飛んだ時なんかさ、6時間ぐらいかかって暇でしょうがなかったよ。
Yeah, I wasn't alive in 1975, so I wouldn't know. I guess time travelers have their own problems.
2,3 分だからあえて酸素マスクはしてないけど、タイムトラベルの間この中は無酸素状態になる。
Wait, oxygen masks.
我慢しろと。
Apparently so.
ここに
Suzuha points to the center of the cylinder, the space between me and her.
エアポケットができるの。そこに頭を突っ込んでおけばさ、10分くらいは呼吸できるわけ。
That doesn't give me confidence.
もし仮にクリスを救うのを失敗したらどうなる？
That is probably the most important question of all.
実はそんなに燃料はなかったりするんだよね。もともと入れておいた燃料はギリギリだから。2036年に帰る分の燃料もなかったり。
So we can't jump back to
つまり
2036.
世界線を変えられなかったら、私はこの時代に残るしかないんだ。
So basically if we fail, we're screwed.
あ、でも心配しなくてもいいよ。8月20日から7月28日への往復はさ、まだ2回ぐらいなら可能だから。
But apparently we have enough fuels for 2 remaining trips. So what she's really saying is that we only have 2 chances. Well, that's certainly better odds than
どうやっ
most.
て2036年に帰るつもりだ？
帰る予定はないんだよね。シュタインズゲートへ行けたら、この時代にタイムトラベルしてくる理由はなくなるでしょ。
You certainly raise an excellent point.
因果が再構成されるんだ。ここにいる私は消滅して、きっと2036年で平和に暮らしてるはずだよ。というわけで、オカリンおじさんの頑張り次第。
And whether or not we are truly capable of saving Kurisu Makise from fate's cruel embrace. Her tone is light, but her expression is serious. This is the first time in weeks that we've spoken. but I've now just realized something about her. Suzuha is pretty reckless, isn't she? Indeed she is. Suddenly, there's a zapping sound and countless faint silver lights start floating around the cylinder. Little motes of light, it has been far too long. They look like moth dust or powdered snow. The lights slowly change colors. Violet, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. Back to silver, violet, blue. The colors of the rainbow? I don't think the rainbow is silver, Rintaro. I feel pressure on my entire body, similar to the sensation you feel as you ascend in an elevator. In an elevator, you feel as if you're being pulled downwards, but instead, the time machine feels like it's pulling at my back. The feeling of pressure quickly increases. It starts to feel like I'm falling horizontally. I've never experienced anything like this. It's so uncomfortable I want to scream. Is this what Alpha Suzuha felt when she traveled back in time? The strangest thing is that the time machine itself isn't shaking. In fact, it doesn't seem to be moving at all. There's no noise, no vibration. It's eerie. The pulling sensation grows even stronger. I can hear my bones creaking in the silence. I imagine my body flattened like a pancake. It's not a pleasant thought. This is definitely much worse than the time leap. And it's getting even worse. I look at Suzuha. She has her eyes shut and her jaw clenched tight. I can no longer move. It feels like my back is glued to the wall. My vision begins to warp. And within my warping vision, the powder of light still shifts through the colors of the rainbow. Silver is not one of the colors of the rainbow. It's strangely beautiful, like something out of a painting. And still I keep falling. Where is it taking me? Through a tunnel in space-time? All I know is that I'm falling. Suddenly, everything goes dark. I try to scream, but even my voice falls away. It doesn't even reach my own ears. It's gravity. There's an intense gravitational distortion behind me. And I'm still falling towards it. And that sound is very reminiscent of the time leap machine. My vision slowly recovers. The smell of ozone fills my nostrils. Suzuha takes a deep breath and unfastens her seatbelt.
着いたよ。
Looks like we made it back to the 28th of July. Fortunately we can't see because we don't have our phone, which is probably for the best. I gulp for air. Did I really just travel through time? Indeed we have. If so, then this is truly July 28th. The day that Kurisu and I first met on the beta worldline. The day I sent the first D-mail. The day it all began. Suzuha takes out a digital watch. It's a fairly old-fashioned design.
1975年で買ってきたんだ。でもまだ3年も使ってないよ。
That's certainly good to know. This is where an uninformed person would say, in Japanese please. But we aren't Daru. Suzuha sets the watch to the correct time and then hands it to me. The display reads 11:51. 9 minutes until 12 o'clock. Nakabashi's presentation starts at noon.
出るよ。オカリンおじさんはマキセ・クリスをマークして殺されるのを阻止して。
That's if worldline convergence doesn't rear its ugly head to stop us from stopping her dying.
サポートに回る。
So you're basically our support. That's very good to know.
携帯を取り上げた理由と関係するけど、ここには7月28日現在のオカリンおじさんもいる。今世界に岡部倫太郎は2人いることになるの。
And that would basically mean that the Rintaro Okabe from the very first episode of this Let's Play of Steins Gate is probably running up the stairs right now to spot this very
自分自身との接触は絶対避けて。
very time
深
machine.
刻なタイムパラドックスが発生する可能性があるから。
タイターが言っていたことと違うが。
あれは単なるフェイク情報。
So the whole thing about the grandfather paradox being a lie was a lie and it was misinformation. Come to think of it, Alpha Suzuha said that the stuff she posted about the many worlds interpretation was fake too.
了解だ。
じゃあ状況開始。終わったらこのタイムマシン前に集合ね。
Suzuha finishes her explanation and motions me towards the hatch. I open the hatch and grab the rim. Lo and behold, oxygen, fresh air at last. I squeeze my way out. Suzuha crawls out after me and closes the hatch.
おじさんは隠れて。私がおとりになる。
Yeah, people are going to be showing up at any moment. By people, I mean me from the past. Suzuha runs up to the emergency door. And then, to my astonishment, she draws her gun and fires at the doorknob. The door opens easily. That must have broken the lock. It explains how that happened. Any moment a crowd of people will run up these stairs to see what happened. My past self will be among them. Well, that's it for this episode of Let's Play Steins Gate. When we return, we shall wait until the crowd dissipates and our past self goes back down to Dr. Nakabashi's lecture, which means we shall be free to intercept Kurisu Makise and hopefully save her life. As always, until next we meet, adventurers,